Hi everyone. It's been quite a while before we've had any discussions on my channel. Now, I had a little bit of difficulties and I have managed to overcome them. And once again, we are back on my channel. If I remember correctly, last time we were together, we discussed the importance of acquiring competence in writing. This was tied to our first lesson, which was about the art of developing the art of reading persistently. And as I mentioned, reading and writing go hand in hand. Both play an important role in helping you in the way you think, in assisting you to grasp different concepts, and in enhancing the scope of your understanding. So if throughout your learning process you inculcate, you develop, you get used to the idea of persistently reading and consistently writing down your thoughts, then as time goes by, you will become a competent, a highly skilled, and a very gifted writer and reader. Now, one thing I've realized by interacting with different students is the fact that a lot of them have ideas. Many of them know what they ought to say, but they do not know how to say whatever it is in their mind. I coach many students, and when we are discussing different subjects, the impression I get is that they are aware, or somehow they know what the ideas and concepts that they are supposed to be learning, but when I ask them to put this down in writing, then they are stuck. They find this difficult. And one time I tried to find out whether it was a question of language deficiency or it was a question of ignorance. And I asked one of the students to explain the concept in Kiswahili, and then she brightened up and said that, volcanicity refers to the process by which mahali inafura kama mandazi. You get me? That is what she said. In other words, she knew what volcanicity involves, but she could not put this down clearly. I believe this is one area that contributes a lot to the high number of students who fail to perform well during examinations. That is why my two lessons are mainly focused, or my two lessons were mainly focused on the art of writing and of reading. When students get used, when as a student you get used to these two qualities, then your learning process becomes a little bit, becomes easy, and most of the things that you encounter in different subjects almost end up being self-explanatory because you understand. That is why I want to devote the next two lessons to showing you how you can effectively write, how you can write an article, how you can write a composition, how you can engage in a discursive topic, how you can interpret the question set to you, and the manner in which you can approach them so that you satisfactorily supply the answers that are required of you. This is a very important, it's a basic, it is an essential skill that as a student you must have. So to make this easier, I'm going to focus mainly on the steps that you should follow so that you are able to produce writing that is accurate, writing that is precise, writing that is appealing, writing that is impressive, writing that is effective. When I talk of effective writing, is the ability to write in a way that your communication appeals and attracts attention. I am a prolific writer. I write a lot on the internet. Let me just say that a lot of the stuff you come across when you're Googling for some information, you're Googling for some descriptive passage, or whatever it is you want. Most of the times Google will land you on a website, and the web content you come across is produced by freelance writers like me. So one thing I've learned over time is that to be an effective writer, your choice of words, your choice of expressions, your language use must reflect the interest or the needs of the reader. So for example, at the moment, I'm writing for an international website that deals with language translation. Translation issues have come to the fore, are now playing a very important role in helping to combat the COVID-19 virus. Most of the international researchers, regardless of their linguistic backgrounds, are coming together, are pooling their resources and ideas together so that they can come up with a solution. One area that translation plays an important role is for making whatever ideas or whatever things that are discussed reachable or understandable to everybody else by relaying the information to different target languages so that everybody else can be brought on board. Now, the point I'm explaining here is to write for a translation website to show why translation is important. One has got to present the ideas in a way that is appealing not only to a localized audience but to an international audience. That is why I want to put a lot of emphasis on helping students to produce compositions or essays or articles that are effective, that can meaningfully relay the information that I have. So during our next lesson, that is what I'm going to focus on. This is just a preview to let you know that my free lessons have not come to an end, but they're going to go on. I'm trying to narrow down to the most important things or the most important aspect of study that can help students. My focus, although I've not mentioned this anywhere, is particularly to candidates in Standard 8 and the Form 4s who are going to tackle their exams but are not in school right now or are not receiving adequate instruction, adequate guidance in the way they should handle different subjects. So I am going to concentrate mainly on showing them how one can use words to produce effective writing. When we meet next time, which will be tomorrow, you will find a recording of a lesson about the most effective way to produce meaningful, informative, and attractive essays, articles, or compositions. This is just a preview, and it's not a full lesson. It's just to alert you that we are soon going to have that lesson. Otherwise, I'm encouraging you to follow, to subscribe to my channel and follow my lessons, because as time goes, I'll bring in different aspects. I'll try to evolve different styles of imparting knowledge so that my contribution becomes meaningful, and my contribution, as I said last time, becomes both complementary and complementary to your studies, to your regular studies at school. Otherwise, stay tuned here always. be my student, and I believe by the end of this session, or by the end of the sessions that we shall have, I don't know how many we're going to have. They might be in the hundreds, they might be in the thousands. By the end, I believe you will sit back and say, hey, we had a lot of help from that online tutor. Otherwise, always welcome to my channel. Feel free to be my student. Ask questions. To do this, you will need to contact me, and then I can approach you. We can have a one-on-one session on Zoom or on Google Hangout. All you need is a little bit, not a lot of data bundles. As long as you've got a computer, you only need about 200 MBs. That is about 50 shillings. And 50 shillings in exchange for knowledge is nothing to grumble about. So if there's any student out there who wants a one-on-one attention, who wants a customized lessons, please get in touch with me. As I said last time, you can get in touch with me either via email or on phone. My phone number is +254 704 895 164. I'll repeat that, +254 704 895 164. That is meant for the international audience. If you're a Kenyan, my number is simply 0704 895 164. And my email address is thepencollectivetom@gmail.com. The Pen Collective, collective with a double L, the Pen Collective Tom, one word, the Pen Collective Tom @gmail.com. Alternatively, you can use a second email address, which is mboya.creativehorizons.tom@gmail.com. I'll repeat, mboya.creativehorizons.tom@gmail.com. Use either of those email addresses or my telephone number and get in touch with me. Just call me if you have a question, ask, and I'll prepare a lesson specifically for you. We can either meet on Google Hangout or on Zoom, or I can just develop the lesson and post it there specifically for you on YouTube. I'll post it as an unlisted video, but I'll send you the link which gives you access to such a video. Let us learn together. One thing I want to assure you about is that the COVID-19 is a game changer. Things are not going to be done in the same way again. And if as a parent, you've invested a lot on many entertainment gadgets, saying big fridges that unfortunately sometimes contain little or nothing throughout the month, they're only for shows, big cabinets, big television sets, state-of-the-art music systems. Of course, these are necessary, but it's time you refocus your attention to things that matter most. Computers are not going to become things or appliances or devices that only a few people use, but the world is changing. So let us not wait. Let the world not overtake us, but let us keep pace with the world. Many parents are complaining. I read a lot of stuff on newspapers, and I hear it over the radio. People telling Magoha that is being unrealistic, that not every parent can access the educational materials being aired either on television or over the radio, which I think is unrealistic. Every home has a radio. Every home has a television. Even here in the rural areas, I'm in rural Kenya right now, I see in every homestead there's a television. What parents should complain about is the inadequacy of the materials being presented, the ineffectiveness of the type of presentation. That makes sense. But about affording, I think that is an excuse. Or if the people cannot afford, let's find a way of even creating pools where students can gather either in the villages or wherever it is, so that they get access to technologically transmitted education. The world has changed. COVID has changed all these. I've been an online worker, a remote worker for quite some time now, and I know I'm so used to working remotely, I don't need supervision. And contrary to the fear that perhaps people will be less productive, perhaps they will not pay a lot of attention to what they are doing, contrary to that, I believe people will be better. Because while you're working online, even if there's no one supervising you, at the back of your mind, you will know that somebody is going to check these, somebody is going to evaluate and examine these, and if I do a shoddy work, then I'm going to be kicked out. It will be as simple as such. On the internet, one thing that I've learned is, one, producing work of high quality, very high quality. If you're working on the internet for any organization that employs you remotely, remember your work is being gauged or judged against work by people from all over the world. So your standard has got to be international. Two, on the internet, there are no excuses. Oh, I was supposed to deliver this work at 2, but it's 4. You can still have it. Or I forgot about all that. You've got to be competent. You've got to be responsible. You've got to mind your responsibility to ensure that you deliver work as it is required and in the standard that is expected. So the point I'm trying to say here is that the internet, the COVID-19 is a game changer. Things are not going to be the same. I'm asking you to psychologically adjust to that. Think about ways of investing in technology. Get yourself more portable Wi-Fis, get yourself computers, and get ready for the life that is coming. I think this is the crux. This is the apex of the technological revolution. It's not going to go behind these. It is a watershed, and we've got to be there with the rest of the international community. So, welcome to my channel once more. When I deliver my next lesson, I hope that the number of subscribers shall have gone higher. I don't intend to do this just during this time of the pandemic, but I want this to be a process that will go on and on and on and on as long as I'm living. Apart from that, I'll create a different channel within my channel purely for motivation and inspiration. You might not have picked these, but in my first lesson, I made a comment about a book. One of the books behind me here is about an alcoholic and how this person managed to survive alcoholism and what her life is currently is. I am also a surviving alcoholic. I've been an alcoholic. I've been a slave. I've lived in that dark hole. And thanks God, I survived. For the last 2 years, I've not touched a cigarette. I used to be a chain smoker. For the last 2 years, I've not touched a pint of alcohol. So I have a lot of information to share with you. I have a lot of intimate, first-hand knowledge about alcohol and how it can mess you. I know the terrors of alcoholism. I know the horror of living on the bylines, on the outsides, on the periphery of society. I know the pain of hearing people describe you as a goner, of hearing people make nasty comments about you. I know the frustration of being kicked around like a dog, of being pushed here and there, of being referred to as a might have been. Thanks God, here I am, healthy, happy. So part of my channel will be devoted to telling my life story and inspiring people to overcome their situations, letting people into secrets within themselves that they don't know exist. I've read a lot of materials on that. In fact, I've got a complete library on alcoholism. So a lot of the stuff, a lot of the things I'll discuss on that other channel will be inspirational and motivational. And these will mainly target adults like me and parents who might be going through the same situations. I know everybody who drinks is living in some little hell. And because all drunkards live in denial, none of you out there who drinks is ready to accept that, hey, this is a little hell and I wish I could get out of that hell. It is hellish. It is terrible. It is dreadful. It is frustrating. It is horrifying. But you can get out of it. I got out of it. You too can get out of it. I'll help you along. We shall have a lot to discuss and to share during motivational and inspirational sessions on my channel. Otherwise, for now, bye-bye. For students, let's meet next time and see what new things we can do. Have a good night.